Hey everybody, I'm going to record a video that I don't typically record. I actually worked in cell phones for 14 years managing stores, but never had the thought that I would record any videos because typically it's just Android versus iPhone, and that gets a little tedious. But this video is specifically for people who might be interested in the Light Phone 2. It's been out for a couple of years. The idea behind this is to be a very basic phone to where really you just text and you phone call, and you might use a calculator, you might use an alarm clock, and that's about it. And the idea is for people to be able to distance themselves from the work world. So first I'm going to tell you guys just a little bit about the phone, tell you some things that I like and I don't like about it, and then we'll move on from there. So first and foremost, it is an e-ink display. So the screen in theory should be able to stay on forever without really using much of any battery life, but it doesn't. It sleeps, and if you extend the time for it not to sleep, then what it will do is it will actually turn the light, the backlight, on whenever it's dark. So then the battery goes dead very quick. So a little counterintuitive there, but for the most part, whenever you open it up, it's just going to show you. Make sure it doesn't show a list of people or phone numbers. Basically, it's just going to show you your recent phone calls, text messages, contacts, everything else. You can see there's not a whole lot. Phone, alarm, calculator, directions, notes, and then you can get to settings as well. It's very slow for the screen to update. I'll bring up a texting example for everyone to see. Let's see here. It is pretty tedious to text. Part of the reason for that is whenever you're looking at a contact, you'll actually see all of your communications with them. So, missed call, and then text messages would show up in order as if it was just one chain of communication. But when you go to open up text, it automatically turns it sideways. And then as soon as you click send to the text messages, it automatically reorients it this way again. Now, the touch sensitivity on the keyboard, not very good, but it works okay. It does have the voice to text option, which does work okay. If you've gotten used to Google Voice, for example, probably not going to be super satisfied with it, but it does work. The spell check, the autocorrect, is practically non-existent. It doesn't work real well. So if you are really attempting to just kind of distance yourself from the world and just use a very simple, very small, very basic phone, and that's what you want to switch to, not a bad device. You can listen to audiobooks on it. If you've downloaded them to it, you can listen to music on it. It does even have a headphone jack, which is kind of a thing of the past on cell phones now. But for the downsides, for one, micro USB. I don't know. I don't understand why anything in the world is not USB-C nowadays. So that's a little bit of an annoyance to me. It's pretty much the only device that I own, other than one or two of my children's toys, that might still have micro USB. So just seeing that is a little bit of a nuisance to me. They definitely could do better with the software. While you're not looking to have a smartphone, if you're using a device like this, you still want some of the conveniences that you might get from a smartphone. For example, you might still want to be able to use GPS maps, yet not be able to get on Facebook, right? So you might still want that disconnect, but you might still want the luxury of the tools and utility, and you really kind of miss out on a lot of that with this. In the grand scheme of things, realistically speaking, for a lot less money, you could get a flip phone. And that's realistically what this is. This is a pre-Motorola Razr flip basic phone. This is the Nokia 2225i, whatever they were. That's practically what this is. I do like it and I do use it. So let me tell you how I use it and why I like it. So I had the Palm phone for a while, which most people have never heard of, the PV100. But what it did is it would share the phone number with your main phone, and if somebody called your main phone, it would ring on both phones. And so the idea was I wanted to take my Flip 4, or Flip 5, I'm sorry, which I think is an amazing phone. And when I went out to eat with the family, when I was in an important meeting, when I was going somewhere where I needed to lose the the distractions of the ease of just opening up a phone and doom scrolling forever. I would specifically leave that phone behind and carry the Palm phone in. I lost that Palm phone very quickly, actually. I did like it a lot. The battery life was terrible, but I did like that phone. It worked pretty well, did what I wanted to do. So whenever I lost it, I decided to embark on the light phone quest and see how I enjoyed this. I took it a step further. It has its own phone number. It's not connected. I have my phone calls from my fold phone, which is what I'm recording this video on, automatically forwarding to this phone, so I won't miss any important phone calls. It's got its own phone number, its own text messaging number. My friends and family, they know how to get in touch with me using this number, but all my work stuff stays behind. I put my phone in airplane mode, or do not disturb, automatically on a schedule, starting at 6 o'clock every single night, turning off at 8 o'clock every single morning. And in the meantime, I might still see things on my phone. I still interact with my flip phone, but I'm not drawn into it. And in the meantime, this is the one that I use. So if I'm calling somebody, if somebody's calling me, this is the number that they already know to call. This is the number every one of my friends and family, real close. This is the number they call me on. They don't call me on the flip phone, or the fold, sorry. So depending how you're going to use the device, this may be something that works really well for you. It may come up very lacking. If you are seriously wanting to get away from the smartphone world, I don't know that this is necessarily the best option for you, simply because a flip phone is the same thing, but a flip phone still has GPS directions. A flip phone might even still have Google Voice Assistant. So while you might not have the social media, the email, the Slack messenger, the WhatsApp messenger, and all that other garbage that comes with work, there are some features that it would be nice to have with this. For example, they brag that it is for listening to music at the same time, but there's no audio services on here. And I know that's not their fault. Spotify, Amazon, none of them have built an app for it. That's not their fault at all. They're going the way of BlackBerry whenever it comes to that. Nobody's building apps for them. All they can do is blame the other companies, but not enough people are buying the phone. So I look forward to seeing what the Light Phone 3 comes out to be. But for anyone thinking about getting a Light Phone, think about it long and hard. It is good. It is nice that it is removes you from that digital world. But I feel like it removes you a little bit more than it needs to probably accomplish whatever goal you have set out for yourself. So this is my first time reviewing a phone on here. Like I said, even after 14 years, running cell phone stores, know all about them. I just don't want to get engrossed in the Android iPhone, bickering. So it was nice to review something that was a little bit different. And anyone who's thinking about getting one, perhaps they'll take a look at it, take a look at this video and decide one way or the other whether this is the right device for them. So hopefully this was a helpful video. Typically I record things for 3D printing, video games, RV customizations, DIY, home stuff. So please like and subscribe. Might have other videos of stuff like this coming up in the future. Just kind of depends on what I see from you guys. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to see more stuff like this? Or would you rather see my other stuff? And let's go from there. So have a good one, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.